that I am confident. I am going to get this job.
Hey, welcome to the first YouTube video in the Mental Health Matters YouTube series. And yes, I am filming the intro as a voiceover. This is because I forgot to record an actual intro on the video. But anywho, today I am so excited to announce that we will be joined with professional model and student Coles Pond Liv, aka Olivia Reed. Liv has shot campaigns with the likes of Got One, Boots and Fanta. Today, me and Liv will be discussing all things self-care, affirmations, accessing therapy as young people, and we will be exploring how Liv deals with body confidence as a model. Everything that we say within this video is coming from lived experience and personal opinion. If you would like to better your mental health and access some free counselling services within the UK, in the description box below, we will have linked some services which you can access today for free. Without further ado, here's the video. Like, subscribe and stay safe, people. Hey Liv, welcome to the YouTube video. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, thank you. Just chilling, just having a chill day.
Amazing. Firstly, thank you for joining the video. I really appreciate you jumping on. And before we get started, I was wondering if you could just explain a bit about what you do, who you are.
Okay, my name is Liv. I am a maths student and I'm currently just revising for exams. I'm in first year, so pretty chill. I also do modelling as my job. That's just what I do, and I make YouTube videos and content and TikToks, and that's just my life.
Obviously, it's Mental Health Week. People are talking more about mental health awareness, and they're also talking about their experiences. But if I said the words mental health to you, what is the first things that spring to mind?
The first things would probably be like anxiety, depression, OCD, like the ones that people generally know about mental health.
Okay, and then where do you actually feel like you got your education about mental health from?
It wasn't school. That's a fact. Probably the internet. When I was younger, you know, when you just watch videos and then YouTubers start talking about their life and you're just like, okay.
Actually, I don't know if it's the same with you, but I think the first time that I watched a YouTuber and they spoke about mental health in detail, I was probably about 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you had a similar experience, but the YouTubers that I was watching who were speaking about mental health weren't speaking about it in a productive way. They were actually more kind of glorifying bad mental health.
That's how it is on social media. People tend to glorify it and like always, you know, they put it in a way that it just sounds bad, or that like everyone has it, or like it's one or the other. It's that everyone has it and it's just been generalized. Like as soon as you're like sad, you have depression, or like as soon as anything happens, like I know how to explain it, but social media does not convey it in a good way most of the time.
Imagine that you've been given £5 million.
Oh,
All the money is yours. You're baller. Oh my guys are ballers. Okay. That's you. Okay, so you've got £5 million and you have now got the capabilities to make the best mental health website, forum, app, Instagram page, whatever that you can. What would you actually do in that space and what would you make?
One of the main things that would be there is like some form of group chat that you can make with people who have, you can like write your symptoms or whatever's like actually, like if you're diagnosed with something, like you can actually type that in and you can have people who talk about their problems, and literally just people who are always there for you, because sometimes people just need someone there for them, and that will help a lot.
Yeah. Amazing. And do you think there's a difference between having a counsellor or therapist there for you compared to having people your age there for you that aren't being paid?
Yeah, I feel like it would be easier to talk to people who actually, I know they understand because they're therapists and like they know, but they're just going off the book. Some of them obviously aren't going to be invested as much because it's just their job. Like obviously you can get some who are amazing, but like some could just be like, mm, yeah, this and that. But if
Mm.
it's people who are actually going through the same thing, they're gonna understand you completely.
We've been friends for years, and we've had a lot of conversations around this and these different topics. But us and our friendship group have never really discussed going to therapy, the idea of seeing a counsellor, when it comes to mental health. And I was wondering, why do you think that is?
I feel like most people feel like they're more of a problem and they're embarrassed by seeing a therapist because that's stuff I've seen in, like, me personally as well. I'd feel like kind of like, about going to a therapist because like, it makes you feel like something's completely wrong.
I find that really, really interesting just because I've been on Twitter a lot, as you know,
Yeah.
recently. And a lot of the people that I've seen on there promote kind of using therapy on a weekly basis, even when things aren't wrong, or not kind of resort into these mental health tips and tricks as a last resort.
Mm,
And I think a lot of the people that I've seen post that kind of stuff are from London or they're really embedded in the creative scene. Whereas I know you and me, even though I'm a lot more in the creative scene now, we've kind of come from an urban environment.
yeah.
You're from Birmingham, I'm from Carv, we're both 20. And I feel like we both have the similar view. Well, I used to hold this view that you should only go to therapy if it's a last resort.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I felt the same when it came to if someone said to me, "Oh, go sign up for counselling, go to therapy," the first thing that comes to my mind is like a 10-year waiting list.
Yeah. Because like, I've looked into it before and you literally just can't even get on anything anyway, so
Okay,
yeah.
so obviously you went to the same college. How did you get help for how did you get support in your mental health whilst in college? What did that look like back then?
Did that even exist at Bar? I don't think it did because I just saw people crying outside all the time.
Yeah.
I swear I don't think we had a school counsellor. Did we?
I can remember we did have a school counsellor, but it was extremely hard to access. So she was there, and I think you had to. I heard a rumor that you'd have to tell your head of year or head of house what's the matter, and then they then tell the vice principal or the vice person. Basically, it's that long that I can't even explain it. There was one lady, and she worked part time, and she did all the counselling and stuff.
What? See, I didn't even know it existed.
I think something to highlight is the fact that we went to a college where teachers were travelling regionally. So
Mm,
if you're from the kind of like working class urban background that we're from, the experiences aren't the same. And
yeah.
even though I knew my teachers really cared, I knew my tutor cared, we just had a completely different walk of life, so I couldn't relate to them.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So, like, just telling them you're probably I couldn't do it. I couldn't have, like, spoke to my tutor or whatever. I wasn't even close to them, like
I feel you on that. I have a question actually, because I knew that when I was interviewing you, um, I would have to ask this question just because I know you as a person, and I know how chill you are, and I know how logical you are. Um, so this question kind of comes from that place, and I was wondering, how as a person do you stay so grounded?
I do not know. I'm a mess in my head. I don't know how I'm so chill. Like, anyone who's, like, super chill, I promise you they're not. They're probably not.
Okay, cool.
Um, I don't know. I just try and keep myself occupied. That's what keeps me the most chill. I hate having nothing to do, which is why this lockdown is very hard for me. Because I like to when I'm busy all day, everything is perfectly fine,
Mhm.
but, like, I do struggle with anxiety, like, pretty bad, and at the moment, it is terrible. Like, it goes through stages, but, like, it's not great. And, like, I'm always chill when I'm with people because, like, it to be honest, it goes away. So I don't know. I don't know how to explain that one.
Okay, so what kind of stuff can you do or do you do when you're feeling anxious?
I had a time last year where it was really bad, and then I just randomly got invited to a pets yoga class, and it all went away instantly. I was like, "What?" I haven't felt like this for ages because it was really bad for months, and yoga was actually really good. So I started exercising a lot. Not a lot, but I mean, like, I didn't exercise at all, so it was a lot for me. Um, so I did that. I started going to the gym. I got a personal trainer to make sure I was doing it right, and that helps me get out of, like, whatever place I was in then. And yeah, exercise is the one.
Okay, this is something which I wanted to big you up for, is the fact that
Mm,
don't you don't necessarily describe, or I don't know how to word it. Okay, let me. So, as a person, when I've asked you about mental health and ways of coping, you don't list off loads of different things to do. However, naturally, you've kind of started speaking about things that you do that fall into like self care, that obviously help mental health. And
mhm.
I think it's really interesting how you clearly haven't been taught this is what you have to do to make yourself feel better.
Yeah.
Got into a routine and kind of figured out what works for you and what doesn't work for you.
Yeah, because of having a time where everything was literally upside down, you slowly learn what makes everything so calm. And I'm kinda grateful that that happened just because now I know that I love being busy, even though I try and deny it, but as soon as I'm busy for a whole day, I love it. So, like, I've learned that I love that, which means the lifestyle I want in the future, I'll be able to deal with. Um, what was my original point?
I said about you growing into your self care routine, essentially.
Yeah, I've just been slowly adding stuff, and it's just getting to a point where it's really sticking. I'm not someone who likes sticking to a schedule in a way. Like, I like to just do stuff, but I've learned that when I do have a schedule, it's actually better. I just don't wanna do it because then I feel like I have to do it, and I don't like feeling like I have to do something. Which is why I hate schedules, but love schedules at the same time.
They communicate in Morse code.
I can't even click. I got oil on my
Oh
hands from
no. Okay, so a question that I had as well was, what's a tip that you have for someone trying to discover their self care routine?
just try everything. Like, I know that sounds like a lot, but, like, if you give yourself what I've been doing during lockdown is making sure I've gave myself one task each day to make sure I actually do something, because I always feel so much worse when I don't at least do one thing. And then you'd learn which things, like, make you feel better and then make you feel worse, and then you can always, like, I always see other people's, like, daily routines, I'm like, "I wanna try that." And then if I like it, then just steal it, you know?
We love that. And if you could give advice to Liv when we first met, when you were 16 years old, about mental health, what advice would you give?
Um, but I'd tell myself to probably look after myself more because especially in first year of uni, you kinda just eat and do whatever you want and, like, drink too much, eat too much. Everyone does it, everyone goes through it, but I'd tell myself not to, you know, just, like, chill out and start eating healthy back then and, like, doing more stuff that makes you more happy, like, literally, like, I wish I pursued stuff younger that I'm doing now, like content creation, but I was too scared. So actually be confident in yourself, because I wasn't back then at all. So I would tell myself that.
I wouldn't have been able to guess that at all. And I think knowing again, I've the first within the first month that I met you, I seen you on a stage because we were in the same production. So
Oh, yeah.
now I always thought everything Liv wants to do, she's able to do it because I seen you do content creation, then I seen you go off to uni, then I seen you, wind in the willows. Like it kind of the list goes on of that kind of stuff. So how did you actually build your confidence to where it's at today?
Honestly, I would just throw myself into it. That's all I've done, and, like, I've always get too scared to do stuff, like, when I wanted to start YouTube, it took me a while to think like, I don't know, do I? And then one day I was like, "I'm ordering a ring light." And I was like, "I can't waste £80, so I have to now." And that's how I normally convince myself to do stuff. Like, if it involves money or something you've booked, you've gotta do it. Like, you've got to.
Amazing. And in a way, so the same kind of confidence that you had to use becoming a content creator, that would be similar confidence someone would have to use to go to therapy or to even talk about mental health.
Yeah, yeah. You have to have the confidence to do it, because if you told me to talk about stuff like this when I was, like, 14, I could not do it. Because like, back then, things are just so private, you don't wanna talk about stuff like that because no one else does, and people be like, what are you doing?"
Yeah. No, definitely. And I think that's why I really appreciate you jumping on the call, especially as I know that you're quite a private person. So having
Yeah,
you jump on and actually talk about these things means a lot. I need to stop.
you're welcome.
Every stop, I am just gonna be like, okay. Woohoo.
Rude.
Groove. So something else that I was interested in is you're a model. Just to put the spotlight on Liv, Liv's modelled for in campaigns with Boots. She's ran about to say ran a walkway. She's walked a walkway. We've got Guar.
I ran the walkway.
She's done stuff with dog yoga.
Dog.
Dog yoga. She's trying to get the bag with Glossier. So if Glossier
One day, I will.
would like to sponsor Olivia, please.
I have my Glossier shelf right there,
Oh my gosh, we love it.
and I will happily promote it to everyone.
Your dad comes in when you're not home and pretends to shop.
Low key, bet they do.
I'm gonna put like a thing that just says dead joke over my head. It. But anyway, so yeah, obviously you're a model, you've done sick stuff, you've done stuff with Boots, got Kwan, a dog yoga situation. We love to see it. And I was wondering, obviously people think modelling and they think body image. And I just wanted to know what those two words bring up for you, modelling and body image.
Okay. I was never, ever, ever body conscious until about a year ago. Like, I never cared because, like, I don't know, it just felt fine. And then I did gain a bit of weight and I was like, "Oh," I'd never gained weight in my life. Like, apart from when when you're a kid and you're a bit like, "Mm." But, like, in my actual, like, teen years when, like, you kind of look at yourself like that, like, I'd never gained weight, so it was the first time, so I was like, "Oh, I'm a model, this can't happen." And obviously, if I wasn't a model, I probably wouldn't have cared that much. But then, to be honest, it's actually helped me. Like, most people think of, like, the body image in modeling to be a bad thing, but for me, it's encouraged me to work out more, which has helped, like, mental health and whatever, and I feel more confident when I feel like I look better, and, like, I know it's to their image of, like, the modeling industry, but, like, I feel better when I look more like that, but it's also impacts in a bad way because there's certain things and certain ways people look, some models which you just cannot achieve. Like, I cannot be that skinny. Like, and it kind of makes me insecure about applying to bigger agencies because I do not look like the models with like 34-inch hips. Like, I don't look like that.
And
So
it's not biologically achievable.
it's just not, I don't understand. Like, I'm obviously not body shaming them because I think they look absolutely stunning, but I cannot do that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think there is a massive movement of models who are actually just embracing natural beauty and being like, yeah, we work out, or we might not even work out, but this is how we are, this is what we look like. And something that really needs to be remembered is how much mental health and body image link. So
Yeah.
everyone obviously has mental health and everyone has body image. Everyone has a certain view that they have on their body. It can be positive, it could be negative, it can be kind of how you were, just neutral and you're chilling.
Yeah.
That's how I was as well. Well, I am. So I think it is super important, whilst we're speaking about mental health, to go into not just anxiety and depression, but to start going into more specifics of body image. Okay, body image in different industries, how does that impact?
Mm. But it recently, body image has just been crazy on social media, and on TikTok, it is absolutely terrible. Like, I don't know if you've watched any of those kind of TikToks, but people are just showing their natural bodies, whatever, and a lot of the time it happens with people who are, like, typically, like, skinny, toned, normal, and the comments are always like, "I'm not gonna eat now," "You need to eat a burger," basic, people say, and it's horrible because the standards aren't equal, because those same people will then go comment on someone else's video telling them to lose weight, and,
Mhm.
like, or they're hyping up people who have, like, a normal body image and then putting down everyone else. Like, it's never equal. It's like everyone, no matter what body type, someone in the comments is coming for you, and that needs to stop.
Yeah.
Because especially with, I know there's a lot of younger people on TikTok, and they're seeing that and being exposed to that, and they're suddenly becoming insecure when there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. And if they didn't see that, they wouldn't even have noticed about their body image, and it's not great.
What advice would you give to someone who's went on TikTok and they're starting to feel insecure about their body image?
Well, if there is something they generally do want to change, not because of other people, go for it. Like, if you wanna get abs, go for it. If you wanna gain a bit more weight, go for it. But if you're doing it because you feel like you have to and not that you want to, then stay how you are. Literally just stay how you are, ignore it, block them, delete. You can block certain videos and sounds on TikTok, just get rid of them, get it out of your life, or just literally go off social media for a bit, because it can just impact people so much, and it just needs to stop.
Thank you for that advice, because yeah, that's just perfect. Like, it is about just kind of blocking that out and then replacing it with something else. And that leads me perfectly on to my next point, um, which is to do with replacing negativity with affirmations. Now, I was actually wondering, do you know what the word affirmation means?
I think I do, but, like, I don't know how to explain it. I know because of the law of attraction what it means, but, like, I don't know how to explain it, like, in a normal way. That's not law of attraction.
Okay, give me an example of an affirmation.
I don't know how to actually word it. Like,
Okay, so essentially, an affirmation is a powerful statement that makes you feel better.
yes, there we go.
Simply enough, so it can be from a friend, a family member, you could say it to yourself, and it's normally the more unique, the better. So if I was to tell you, "Oh, you're a great person," that's not that great. Like, you're gonna be like, "Oh, thanks. Cool, that's generic." But if I was like, "Well done for opening up on my video. You are," and then if I ended that with like, "Oh, you are strong, you are smart." Again, they're quite generic, but normally it's the more specific, the better. And a lot of people have affirmations as a part of their self-care routine. So
Mhm.
they'll sit there every day and write 2 affirmations to themselves before they go to work, or they might even have affirmations on their mirror so that when they're brushing their teeth, they can kind of read through positive messages.
Mm.
And as you know from law of attraction, a lot of people use affirmations to get closer to success. So some people might use it for body image, some people might use it to motivate them more in work, and some might just do it to feel better about themselves and improve their mental health. So obviously there's a lot of different ways that affirmations can be used. And I was wondering, now that you know what an affirmation is there any time within your life that you actually accidentally use affirmations?
Okay, I know I couldn't even name one, but I I literally have a journal to do that, and I used to do that every day. I haven't been doing it recently because I have a planner where like you do that in the morning, and then you list your things you're going to do for the day, and then like all that stuff. But because there's been no routine, I haven't been doing it. But yeah, it is helpful.
Okay, so if you could tell yourself an affirmation before you go into a casting, what would your affirmation be?
It would involve confidence, that I am confident. I am going to get this job. I am right for this job, and I have the talent to get it. Because obviously, even if you don't completely believe that at the moment, if you keep telling it to yourself, you will eventually.
I love that. I'm not gonna cry. My ring light's just too bright. Cool. Thank you for chatting to me, Liv. If you could give one word to people who are watching, what would it be?
Achieve.
Subscribe.
I thought you were just saying a random inspirational word.
No, I need subscribers.
Oh, subscribe then.
But yeah, cool. Catch you in a bit.
Bye.
Thank you for watching the first ever video in the Mental Health Matters YouTube series. As you can probably guess, I forgot to also film the outro, so here's me doing the outro via voiceover. I really hope you got something from this video and that you learned a little bit more about mental health and others' experiences. Like, subscribe, and stay safe, people.